Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Off the Ropes YouTube. What's up?
What's going on, man? This is Julian, man. How we all doing, man?
Hey, we're doing absolutely great. Everybody, welcome to Off the Ropes. Julian, it's been a little while, man.
It's been a crazy,
Life.
been a crazy
Yes,
couple of weeks for you.
it has been, man. I'm expecting a baby and some news with my father. So, hey, here we are, man. We got to keep it moving. But hey, Julian, I mean, you made it out this weekend to an event that I was hoping to be there for. Hey, man, tell us what happened, man. What happened here in Tucson?
Well, what happened a little bit this weekend, of course, we had the Old Pueblo Showdown. It's the second annual. It was actually brought to you by, I believe, let Travis Moore is actually the one that put this whole event on. And it's the Tucson Boxing Annex, and it was just such a great event, man. Got to see, some of our boxing gym friends, from the Brawler 101 crew, from the Reyes boxing crew, also the Southwest boxing crews. Also got to meet some new people as well. I mean, even got to meet a two-time Gold Glove champ, Rukhman Muhammad. Actually, he won in Las Vegas and Arizona.
Oh shit, man.
Just from all over the place, man. Boxing Fit, thank you for putting it on. By the way, I mean, I understand must have been a hectic time to put that event on, but I mean, it was just a beautiful thing. Uh, like can I say? I mean, the Aguirre brothers, man. Anthony, Isaac, they both freaking showed it out, man. They had a, they both victorious. They both did their thing, and of course, Anthony had the stoppage.
Little beast, bro.
Yeah, heck yeah. Also, I mean, you had the Reyes from the Reyes crew. You had a Junior Camberos go at it. You had what's his name? El Jainer Lopez as well. They both went at it. Just a good time, man. Overall, I mean, we just got to pretty much talk to like old friends, from the gym back then. Just mingle with the crew. People showed love. Like such as Bernie. People like that. People in our city. Cheech. Another big time
Oh,
contributors to the city.
absolutely, man.
And like I said, we just showed love, man, to all these kids, man. It was just pretty cool seeing different different cities come out, different states come out, to this whole thing, and it was a beautiful event, man. I'm pretty sure everybody had a good time. Uh,
Absolutely.
and also, I mean, we had a little Romeo. He fought that day too. I mean, he did his best, to. I mean, like I said, some outcomes didn't come out the best, but like I said, it's always a learning experience in the amateur world. Same thing for Junior too. It didn't go his way, even though a lot felt it did.
Yeah.
But like I said, this is just it's just a fun time, man. This past weekend, big ups to these kids. I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I met a future champion,
Hey,
or never
absolutely.
know, or the people even we know are the future champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Kenny. What up, Kenny? Tuning
Kenny,
in. What's up, my dog? Hey, Julian, Matt. Hey, dude. I mean, look, I know when the event happened, I didn't get a chance to really touch bases with you or like get the rundown because I said, hey, you know what? We'll do the show. I'll ask the questions. You can just go ahead and give a little bit about it. So, I mean, how many fights total was there, man?
I
I
think
mean, was
there's
there any young
20.
ladies in there too? Were there any young ladies that fought? I know Jasmine
Actually,
was out. I
yeah,
know.
she was
I
out
know.
there
Did
doing
she
her
fight?
support. She was supporting. No,
Okay.
actually, there wasn't. Kind of a little disappointing. I was just thinking just the the matching issue most likely. But there was a lot of female support there, for boxing, pretty much. I mean, like I said, it was just a great event just to see families out there, to see the life change of some of the guys that are part of the event, the staff. Just like I said, for Travis for putting on this event, he
Yeah,
did
that's
a
cool, man.
yeah, he
That's
did a
absolutely dope.
damn good time, man. And like I said, just seeing old friends, old trainers, just everybody, man. It was pretty cool, man.
Yeah, and Travis too. You said right. You kind of communicated with him. You kind of let him know what's going on about Combat for Hope. And I mean,
Yes,
from what
yes,
it
I
sounds
did.
like, it sounds like he really likes what we got planned in the future. And little update, everybody. We're looking at another like 30 days before everything is finalized. The paperwork has been sent off. So stay tuned. You'll get the official word once this becomes official and licensed. Combat for Hope will be off the ground and running, man. And I'm actually looking forward to it. I hope all of our fans out there. But yeah, man, what else did Travis say, man? So he has his own, correct? He has his
Yeah,
own
it's
charity event.
reach for it. It's called, he owns a bunch of different housing here, to help adults,
Okay.
people coming out of prison, people dealing with, an addiction that want to change their lives. These guys pretty much want to flip the switch,
Damn, that's amazing, man.
and it kind of like triggered when I kind of told him a little bit what I wanted to do. He kind of like looked at me like, hey, like this is for the youth. That's pretty cool, And he kind of told me, like he was looking at doing a life sentence, and he never did it.
Damn, man. And that's the beautiful thing about these kind of charities. There's always a backstory to it. And I always said when we meet people or when we interview, like everybody has a story, no matter what the story is. If it's good, it's bad. If it's tragic, if it's happy. But hey, shout outs to Travis Moore if he's out there listening. We're looking forward to working with you, man, and getting this going for the kids, not just for the kids, but just the community in general, man. Like I know
Yeah,
you even
even.
mentioned with the adults too, man. Like
Hmm.
it's a big thing, and we believe this is something big, man. I believe this is going to be absolutely amazing for what we want to do with this.
Well, you're absolutely correct, George. I mean, being out there at this event, I mean, you could see that this type of thing changes lives. I mean, for all the kids that are out there, I mean, you could tell. I mean, the energetic atmosphere. I mean, like what this does for kids, adults, families in general.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And but like I said, just shout out to the Opelo Showdown this past weekend, man. It was just
Yes,
overall
for
overall good time. Overall
yeah,
great time.
yeah. And again, I'm sorry I missed it. Had a false alarm. Julian called it best. He said my lady pulled a fire alarm on me for this baby. But hey,
Yeah, it's
again,
all right. It's okay.
again, we'll be looking forward to the next event. I know it's in April. And hey, I will be there, baby or not. So, man, today, maybe about a little bit about an hour ago, it's been on Twitter. Bad Left Hook just dropped this tweet about Lomachenko. Unfortunately, might remain in Ukraine.
I think he
Um,
is gonna remain there.
yeah,
It's
man, defending his country, man, and hey, first things first, it doesn't matter a fight. At the end of the day, it's your freedom, your pride, and
They're
everything that he's
people.
fighting for, man. Exactly. He's standing behind his people. But back into the boxing, it's looking like they're talking to Devin Haney and Lou DiBella and DAZN. They're looking to try to get this going, man. I mean, Julian, come on, man. Like, is this the fight you're looking forward to, or is it just because
Well, like I said,
unfortunately?
I wanted to see Loma, of course, get his
Mhm.
bounce back. I just feel Haney. Like I said, I mean, we just haven't seen Haney in there against anybody really, of a high caliber. I mean, George Cambosos just got into that caliber. For
Mhm.
now, I mean, we still got to see if he could continue what he just did to Josh Taylor. I mean, to Teofimo Lopez. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And if he can, if he can do a part two, maybe. I mean, Haney. I mean, all the crap talk starting again. Well, we already sent the contract. We already did this again. I mean, we're starting to see all this buzz again. I don't. I mean, if it is, I mean, just sign the damn contract. Go to Australia. And let's do it. Let's dance.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, but all power to Lomachenko, man. I mean, like I said, one of my favorite fighters today. Followed him a long time, amateurs, but he's chosen to stay. With the family, with the country, and like I said, I mean, we just salute you too. I mean, even Cambozo's even said too. I mean, after he does some work on Haney or whoever he's gonna fight next, that he hopes they can get down.
Hey, man, that'd be an amazing fight, no matter who he chooses, even just in that division in general. But this is the fight. One of these two guys is the fight we've been wanting, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping.
Cambosos showed up to pretty much everybody's fight. He showed up to Tank Davis's fight. He showed up to Devin Haney's fight. He was there, like, hey, he did the honorable man thing. He shook his hand and said, "Let's make it happen next." But at the end of the day, it's business. We don't see the stuff that happens behind closed doors.
We don't.
Um, if it was that easy to make a fight happen just off a shake and word of mouth, I mean, how many fights would be actually being made? I'm looking forward to either one of these guys, man. But my first choice is Lomachenko, man. Lomachenko, because it's kind of like his get back into that division. He lost
Yeah.
a really close fight to Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez lost to Cambosa, so it might not, it won't happen where the trifecta. You know, this guy beat that guy, so this guy could beat this guy. It's like the perfect setup, man, where the styles, and I would have loved to seen how good really George is against somebody like the style of Lomachenko. And
Mm-hmm.
to me, that fight would be a 50-50. And even with the Devin Haney fight, like it's still a really good fight. Like this is a fight, and you usually know how it goes. It's like you show up to the level of your competition. So Kambosa's fight can actually bring out like the best in Devin Haney, which would be dope. But
Yeah.
just off resume and what we've seen and what the eye test shows to me, I feel like Kambosa's is a slight favorite for me. But I mean, just look at how 2022 has been going. I mean, there's been upsets left and right.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, man. And it's not no knock on Devin Haney that he can't beat Kambosos, but just for me, my opinion, and I'm sure many people believe that Devin Haney could win this fight. But for me, as of now, until that actually happens, like I'm gonna ride with George. Just
Yeah, me
slightly.
too. Yeah, that's me too, man. I mean, I just don't see Haney beating George Kambosos. I mean, we've seen him gas out in the second half. We've seen what Kambosos can do. He keeps going.
Yeah.
I mean, he keeps going. I mean, we saw what he did against Dale. I mean, he just kept going even after getting hit. I mean, getting knocked down. I mean, he just keeps coming forward. So, I mean, that's something Haney. I mean, when Linares did, and he ended up wobbling him right there. I mean, Kambosos is actually going to follow up with some of those punches. And that's another thing people have to see too. I mean, Devin Haney is not a powerful guy. He is a boxer.
Yeah.
But I mean, now that we've seen what his chin is made of, I think now we're gonna. I mean, like I said, we're just slightly. I do have a slight edge with George right now.
Mhm.
Just until, like I said, until they get into the ring.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll be a good fight because people are saying that Haney can't punch, and Kambosos really doesn't have that many knockouts either. So I mean, it's gonna pretty much be skill for skill for me. Who has a better footwork, whose game plan is better, who's gonna execute on mistakes.
Who's more conditioned at the end of this fight is what's going to determine it.
Yeah, hey, and we saw Kambosos. I mean, he made it all the way to the 12th round. He looked a little beat up in the face, but I mean, damn, man, that was a
Yeah,
crazy fight, man.
close fight, good fight. I mean, not no one for their books.
Yeah. So, until there's more news on this, we just wanted to drop this really quick. Like I said, it came out like a little bit about an hour ago that it's looking like Lomachenko most likely will be staying in Ukraine to defend against Russia, and it's there's talks with Devin Haney in this one. I mean, where do we start with this, man? Where do we start, Julian? What do you First of all, the week, or first say 2 weeks ago, right? The very beginning of it, if we're gonna unfold it like a chapter book,
Yeah,
there was the Munguia and Charlo talks. They supposedly sent offers to Munguia. They saw what they liked, what they disliked. It seemed like they were going to meet in the middle. It seemed like there was going to be like a dual two networks showing the fight. I'm sure maybe a pay-per-view or however which way they were going to go. And then out of nowhere, we got a Jermall Charlo versus a Selecki. Julian,
man.
unravel this for me, man. Like, what do you think, bro?
I don't
What
even
is it?
know. Like, we talk about Duck, bro. I mean, now's the perfect time to say it. I mean, like I said, we don't know what the heck went on behind the scenes, but this seems to be an ongoing thing with the Charlos. Like it seems they talk big game, and then I mean, this dude can't even put Dave Benavidez' name in his mouth. I mean, Mike Tyson was right there. I mean, we all saw this. I mean, he was. Why don't you fight? We want to see these names. How
Mike
come?
Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, how come you're not freaking? How come you're not fighting these guys? Who the hell's Basij Sulecki, bro? Like, the guy didn't even have a picture on the Showtime lineup, man. I mean, come on, man. Like, dude, stop cherry picking already, bro. Freaking Lionesses only. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm over him already, man. I mean, I'll talk more and more until this guy steps into the ring with some talent. This guy's he's just gonna be a cherry picker the rest of. I mean, to me, it's just a cherry picker right now.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, a majority of us are not very happy about the decision that Selecki's making. I guess you pretty much answered your side. I was gonna ask, do you call this a duck or do you call it a bad choice or a bad move or a bad decision?
Bad
Um,
management.
it feels like it's a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
and for me, like I feel like it's kind of like a bad choice and bad move at the same
PBC
time.
for you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I feel like he's not really urgent or showing any kind of urgency on wanting to really get in there with Benavides or Mungia. I feel like he's comfortable. I mean, he's 31 years old. Him and Canelo are the same age, as a matter of fact. So what? And it's not like he's taking any damage. So he's not like he's completely like he's damaged goods. But um, in the actual interview with Mike Tyson asked him, like, what are your like? When is it time? Or I think it might have been Paul Pierce asked him what he thought when was the right time to retire. I did like his answer though. He did say that he wants to try to capture as many belts as possible. So
Where?
Selecki, yeah, Selecki
When?
isn't the way to go. But I just thought about this right now. So if he was to fight Mungia, like how would that get him a Canelo fight?
I
But
mean, that would be a big time thing for both of them.
yes, I'm sorry about that. I dropped my pen. Yeah,
No,
absolutely. It would definitely be a better. It would be a right step. It would be the step in the right direction.
I mean,
But I know Benavides got a date with Lemieux.
yep. And
Um,
Phoenix.
in Phoenix, yeah, it's coming up next month. But man, like I just feel like he's just comfortable with whatever he's doing. I will say this though, he is giving Canelo mad props for what he's doing. He says he doesn't understand why people are being disrespectful on both sides of it. So, he doesn't really. Again, maybe there's no urgency. I don't know, but us fight fans, it's really not a fight we want to see. Selecki, I don't think he's fought like in over a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Jeez.
I think his last fight was against Andrade, right? I think it was Andrade was his last fight.
Yep.
I mean, out of the Charlo brothers, man, like Jermell, and you know what? For me, in the beginning, before this going on, like I felt like Jermall was the stronger or the better brother of the Charlos. But look at the fights that Jermell has been fighting, and he's got two rematches. He avenged the loss against Tony Harrison. He showed grit. He's fighting some tough competition, man. So right now, I just feel like Jermell is probably, in my eyes, a little bit, more of the favorite between the two brothers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a lot of this too. I mean, they have a big discipline problem too. It's looking like. I mean, they've been in the news not for the good reasons either.
yeah,
I mean, recently, but it's just. I mean, bro, like we've been wanting to see this, like, see this dude fight. I mean, fight actual talent. I mean, guys that are in the top, and he just doesn't seem to want to. I mean, that's he just doesn't want to do it.
yeah. I don't know, man. Let's see. Hopefully, they hit us on next week on April Fools and actually say, April Fools, we got you guys. It's actually gonna be Mungia. So
Yeah,
I think we're
yeah, I
just
doubt that'll
wishful thinking
happen.
now. Yeah, wishful thinking. So you called it a duck. I mean, I'm gonna say a bad decision, bad move, bad. You even said bad management, and I think a majority of people that follow PBC agree that it is a bad management thing, man. So until then, give us what we want, man. Let's see what happens.
Yep, there's too many
Um,
fights out there to make, and they're not being
absolutely,
done.
absolutely. Speaking of what could be, in line for Canelo, this fight was just actually pretty much,
Last week,
yeah, it was called for. It's gonna happen June 18th at the Madison Square Garden. Better be Joe Smith Jr., Julian. Talk.
unification bout, man. I mean, the light heavyweight division right now, people are not really seeing what the hell's going on. I mean, look what Canelo's about. Look who Canelo's about to fight. Look
Yep.
who. I mean, he's fighting Dimitri Bivol. Arthur Beterbie's pretty much the guy to beat in this division.
Yep.
Joe Smith owns the IBF title.
No, he
Uh,
owes the
I mean,
WBO. I'm sorry.
IWO. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
all right. Right. They're
yeah,
all there.
yeah, but they're there.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, this division is being put on notice now. I mean, you have two of the best in the division fighting going at it. We have our American Joe Smith Jr. Versus this freaking powerhouse of a man, freaking Arthur Beterbiev. I mean, we saw what happened the last fight, with an intentional headbutt. And he fought through that whole thing, bleeding like hell. I mean, but that just goes to show you how strong he is. The This fight right here is beautiful only because we have Canelo versus Bivol in May,
Hmm.
and now what's gonna be? And then we have, they get the winner of this regardless. I think. In December. They're talking about a December bout, and I really think it's gonna be between one of these two guys.
You think that's going to be Canelo's third fight in the zone
Oh
for the
yeah,
zone? Yeah.
oh yeah.
You don't think that it's too much up and down, or do you think like Canelo's like at that right weight where he can be? Because right, the next fight after Bivol
He
is
has to go
Triple
back
G.
to 168, but
Yeah.
we don't even know if he's gonna go to 168. They might make Triple G go up to 175, bro.
Really, I
I
didn't
mean,
know.
I was reading some things on it, but I don't know how true that is.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how true that is. Just freaking just quoting it. But like I said, 168, 175. Canelo can make those two weights easily.
Hmm.
Pretty soon, he's gonna have to take the 175 round, stay there at one point. I'm pretty sure as he gets older, we all know how hard it is to lose the weight to keep the weight off, and especially as a boxer, as a combat sport fighter, regardless. It's just hard to drop the weight. But I do. This fight looks it's just beautiful on paper too. To us as boxing fans, it's a great fight to make. For casuals, they're like, well, who the hell is this dude? I never heard of him. I never heard of this dude. I don't. That just goes to show how much boxing you watch.
Absolutely.
And like I just feel these two right here, they're at the prime of their game right now, just like Canelo is right now too. Bivol, all these guys are they're on top of their game right now. They feel it, and they feel they could be the best in their division. That's the reason this light heavyweight division is going to be this pretty much a sleeping giant division right now because there's even more guys coming into the division too. We might even get David Benavidez coming up next year.
Yeah, that I wouldn't doubt one bit. And you're right.
Yeah.
I would. It kind of is like the sleeping giant, and what Canelo's name thrown in there. It puts a spotlight on 175, just like it did at 168.
Hmm.
Um, I absolutely love this fight because again, Joe Smith has the WBO, Better Beef has the WBC IBF, and right now the WBA bout is being fought. It's going to be fought with Canelo and Bivol. So I could possibly see that third fight is happening in December with Canelo, or I guess it just depends on what happens in the next two fights for Canelo, right? Like, is he gonna come away with it a little unscathed? Is it gonna take a little bit? Is it gonna take a little bit out of him? But we just know that for sure that he's got three fights with the zone. Better Beef has worked with the zone, so it's perfect, man. I think this fight. It's a tough one for me because Joe Smith, like he's tough, he's gritty. He's like the people's champ. He's like that blue collar guy that everybody loves to jump behind. Better be he's just tough. He's almost like the Khabib of boxing in a way to me.
He's a freaking bear, bro.
Yeah, he's a bear. This
He's
dude is
a
crazy.
big dude, man. There's like no fear in that dude's eyes. There's no fear in none of these dudes' eyes. But it's a whole different ballgame when you step into that ring.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So this is a good one, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
June June 18th, Madison
18.
Square Garden. It's for three bouts there. So let's see what happens. Maybe at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year, depending. Could be a unification at 175, man. We haven't been on the pod for about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. We just wanted to give our quick thoughts on this one here, just the main event, just kind of run through it real quick. Julian, what did you
Yeah,
think of Gonzalez's performance, man?
man, vintage Chocolattito, man. Julio Cesar Martinez didn't know what the heck hit him. That's all I could tell you, man. I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel that same way. Um, Chocolattito, like I said, vintage Chocolattito. He did what he had to do. He went in there with the jab. He went in there with his counters. got out, didn't take much damage, and just did what he had to do to win this fight. Statement win. I mean, Estrada pretty much got. Is he put on notice again? Is this fight gonna happen next? Will we see it in September, July, August? Who knows? I would really like to see that fight happen, but I mean, as for Julio Cesar Martinez, I mean, we've seen his vulnerability in the ring before,
Yep.
and but I mean, we're expecting I mean, we got a war out of it. I mean, but like I said, I mean, Chocolatito is just too much, way too much for him, man. So but like I said, I do see Chocolatito Estrada happening uh, again, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what if he could bring this performance against Estrada.
Hey, absolutely. I think any fight that's Mabel Gonzalez right now at this point, there's so many names thrown out there. I do believe that Estrada is going to be made because right, it was about to happen until he got injured.
Yeah.
His performance to me, man. I mean, shit. If right now, first quarter of 2022, I feel like he has a performance of the year. There's three more. There's 3 more quarters left in this
I agree.
2022. I mean, it was absolutely flawless. I don't think he lost a round. Maybe he lost a round, but I mean, for the most part, he did everything exceptional. Not even exceptional. He did everything extremely well.
And did everything right.
So everything. So anytime a young guy is looking for like a fighter or looking like for an idol, like this is one of those fights that you want to see. You saw everything that he did: jab, footwork, defense. You name it. He was in and out of the pocket. He wasn't running. He was in Martinez's zone. You know what I mean? He wasn't like stepping outside. He didn't run. He was there. He was taking some of Martinez's best shots. But when this fight was made, that was my only thing was I think we wanted to see how much Gonzalez really had.
Yeah,
And I
man.
think he surprised a lot of people because of the Sung Revisai fight. Like it's like, all right, was that the start of the decline? He had a couple good fights after that, but he just showed he went into like a second gear or like a second prime, if that's the right word to put it, like a prime
Yeah.
Gonzalez part 2.
It's like a
So
Pacquiao. I mean, he had that second win. I mean, will we see that with him? I mean, you never know.
yeah, man. So that was a good fight. I just wanted us to kind of touch on
It
that
was
real
a
quick.
fun one. That was a
Yeah,
fun one.
that was an amazing fight. And then last weekend's fight, this one right here was another one of those
What the
good
hell
fights.
happened?
The zone, right? The zone. Two
Yeah.
weekends in 2 weekends in a row, man.
Like,
Two absolutely. I mean,
what the hell happened?
amazing main events.
That's what I said last week. And like, what the hell just happened? And like, I saw Michael Conlan who was winning, he was winning the fight. He was winning the fight, man. Michael Conlan was, but the gas tank wasn't there no more. Lee Wood just, God, man, this guy. I mean, give it up to these freaking European fighters. There's some tough son of bitches. These damn dudes are some strong son of bitches, man. And I mean, even after the lockdown in the first round, I mean, he got up, went forward, still taking shots. I mean, his face looked crazy, man. But that 12th round, when he landed that quick right hand, I saw Conlan go to sleep right away. I mean, I saw like you had to really be paying attention to see that damn right hand hit.
Dude, yeah, that
And
was
and as soon as I saw it, as soon as it connected, I was like, this dude's asleep. And then he went to the damn ropes.
yeah,
I
dude, he
was
went
like,
limp like
what?
so quick because I had a like obviously I waited till when they were gonna show it again because I couldn't really tell what the hell happened, but it's Teddy Atlas said it best. Like with Conlan, like he really does like Conlan, but he sees that Conlan does a lot of like fundamental things wrong.
He
Like
does. I mean, he really does.
he's stuck against the ropes, side to
Hmm.
side, but no hands up. And he feels that that's exactly what Lee Wood was doing. He was timing that. He kept seeing that through the whole fight, and he threw that right hand where his tempo was at, and he just landed it perfect, man. And it was crazy because
Hmm.
in the beginning, Lee Wood went down. I think if there was at least a minute left, I think Wood
Fight
doesn't
would
make yeah
that fight would have ended.
Wood doesn't get out of that round. And you see Conlan, he kind of took over a little bit, but Lee Wood was not out of the fight. Like he still was coming forward. He was still trying to hang in there. And he just showed, bro. He showed his grit, his toughness. Um, I mean, shoot, man,
It was fun. It was a good fight, man.
that
That was
was a
cool.
it was a crazy fight, crazy fight. but another one of those divisions, man. And I think there was an anticipation of Conlan and
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz. That's true.
Hmm.
Speaking of Santa Cruz, with Wood, what do you see, Julian? What do you see with Wood and Santa Cruz?
Well, that's not going to happen because Colin's taking the rematch.
Hey,
He's
he was a
taking
good.
he's yeah, he's taking the rematch, and but I could see. I mean, Lee Wood, I think he'll definitely get torn up by Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, there's too much volume there, more volume than Michael Conlan throws.
Yeah, yeah,
And then as for Conlan and Leo, I mean, it's somewhat similar styles. You know, they both like to punch and get up, but they both like to brawl too, and they like to get in there and throw. I mean, and I think that's what happened to Michael Conlan too. He went in there wanting to throw with Lee Wood. It's like, dude, don't. Like this dude's power. This dude was just gaining more momentum as the fight was going on, and he was just dying down.
yeah. For me, it was what it came down to was just Wood was a little bit. He just had the edge and strength. He was a little more
Yeah,
powerful.
he was landing more power shots. Exactly. No, that's
Mhm.
perfect. No, perfectly said right there. I mean, the power shots were there, and that's what slowed him down.
Yep. Hey, shout outs to Chicano. What's up,
Kind
man?
of
Good evening.
profit.
Thanks for tuning in, brother. Um, but yeah, man, let's see what happens in the future. Excuse me, with Wood. You said he's a rematch, and what I did like about Conlon was, hey, he was being a sport about it. He wasn't making any excuses. He's just like, hey, he hit me with a shot that I did not see, man. And
Mm-hmm.
from the Olympics, like I was like, I'm a fan of this kid. He gave the finger to the judges.
Well, I've
He's a
seen
little
him. Well,
controversial, but
I've seen
I
him
love it.
fight twice here. So yeah, I've seen Michael Conlan fight twice here in Tucson. So he's a good kid, man. He's like I said. I mean, don't this last one hurt him. He'll be back, and just some things he just needs to go back and work on, and he'll get the hang of it.
Yeah, that rematch is gonna be absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, I really think Conlan wins this fight,
Yeah, I
but I
think.
think he puts it away early. He's gonna have to.
I mean, or he's just gonna have to do, something different in there where he's. I'm sure he's gonna go back and rewatch what the mistakes he made and correct them. And he was winning this fight up until the very end.
Yep.
And even if he gets knocked down and gets back up in that 12th round, like Colin still edges this out really closely. But good fight. I mean, first
Possible
quarter,
fight of the year. Possible fight of the
possibly,
year. Yeah.
possibly fight of the year, man.
And it was like I said, it was a good fight, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every damn bit of it.
Absolutely, man. So Julian, Showtime just put out their schedule, right? They put their schedule out, I think like
Yes, they did.
about 2 weeks ago. Um, I mean, what are some fights on here that you were excited about, or that you don't like, or
Well, we
what do
all
you
know that
rate
we
this?
know we all know I don't like the Jamal Charles Selecki fight, so we're gonna put that one on the X right there.
Okay, how about you do this? Go
Okay.
down the line, give me a 1 to 10 or a A to F, and then
Yeah.
an overall. Talk to me, Julian.
I'm pretty excited about this Lubin Fundora fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, we're finally gonna see if Fundora could actually. I mean, because we know he had trouble the last fight. We saw the last fight. He had some trouble. Going into the later rounds. Lubin was gonna come at him. But can Lubin handle the freaking length of that dude? The length. The strength. Can he cut him? Can he cut him down?
Hmm.
Another fight that catches my eye, of course, is the Spence Jr. Ugas. I mean, that's another fight right there we're waiting for in April. I mean, that's a fight. I mean, of course, we're most likely not going to see TC fight after this one. I mean, after this fight, but I mean, the Spence Ugas fight is going to be pretty. I think that was going to be pretty hefty, man. I actually see Ugas possibly edging this out. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just very worried about. I mean, the eye, of Earl Spence.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, and then fighting the caliber fighter of Ugas, the guy that just came off of a magnificent win against Pacquiao.
Yeah,
I
I think
mean,
that's everybody's question, right? Is to see where Earl Spence's eye is at. Like, is it really just that little bit of time that he had to heal? Was that enough time?
yeah, no, well, like we said, we'll find out. We're not. I mean, he's been sparring this and that already. He's been sparring with Charlo. I've seen some videos. He's been sparring with a few guys. Of course, I'm always excited for Dave Benavidez. David Lemieux has always been that guy that come in here to bang out. He's been in there too with some of the best. He's banged it out. So the Benavidez fight too is another good one for me. And of course, we're all waiting for the show of Raleigh Romero and freaking Tank Davis. I'm excited for that. I'm actually excited for that freaking like that press conference. I'm excited for the weigh-in. I'm excited for the fight. Entertainment.
Entertainment.
Exactly. This is gonna be an entertainment value fight. I think that people will buy.
Yeah.
I'll buy it. I know I'm buying it. And it's just gonna be a fun one, man. I just feel that fight right there is the one that I think a lot of us in the boxing world are wanting to see because the first one got canceled due to the allegations.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just have you just go run down the line. You have all these other fights like Tim Tszyu, Tszyu, sorry.
Tim Tszyu.
Yeah, he's fighting as well against Guano, right? Or that's the name. What's his name? Gausha?
Gausha.
Yeah, Gausha.
Yeah.
That should be a good one too. You have little Ali Rivera going at it too on the undercard in that fight. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but they call him Little Ali. Look exactly like him with the haircut and wears the same kind of shorts, everything.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen the undercards of anything really yet.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. These next April's just gonna be a lit up freaking month of boxing. We already know from the PBC side, Top Rank, Golden Boy, Canelo's freaking team. Everybody's coming at it, man. This month. What about you, man? What are you looking forward to?
I was on the round table last week and we kind of discussed this one, and I think just like everybody else,
So you're going with that one? I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
The fight that I'm very least looking forward to, of course, is the Jermall fight, Jermall Charlo against Sublecki. The Rolando Romero and Gervonta Davis. It isn't a pay-per-view fight, but on the level of entertainment, like, yeah, it's going to be exciting. The press conference, the shit talking, they're going to be in each other's face. As long as there's no more allegations or no one gets in trouble, right? As long as this keeps going forward and it actually happens. For me, the heavy favorite, of course, is Davis, but Davis has been getting hit a little more than usual. Romero is a little awkward, so he can cause a little bit of problems because Davis is used to a pretty stationary fighter, and Romero is just very unorthodox. So he's going to make it really.
He's a rough fighter.
Yeah, he's gonna. He used to do judo, so he's going to be dirty on the inside. He's going to use all his tactics. But I guess for those two fights, to me, those are like on the lower end of it. But as far as like the entertainment value and what the pre-fight stuff shows, like Romero and Davis is, I think, by far is entertainment before the fight starts. Just like
there'll be a lot of chinchilla.
Hey, there will be there. in the summer, right? He told him he had a damn fur coat in the damn summer, or I don't know what he told him, but it was funny as hell.
Yeah.
The Lubin and Fondora, like, I'm really looking forward to that one to see the winning streak that Lubin has been having since his loss, and then Fondora's last win wasn't very impressive. So it's a good style of fights. And like they said, like you just said,
way different styles, both of them.
Yep, just like you and Chicano said, man. April, I'm really looking forward to April as well. So let's see what happens in April. So the Lubin and Fondora fight, I'm really excited about. Charlo Castaño,
we're all waiting. We're waiting.
The rematch, that one I'm really excited for. Lemieux and Benavidez, that one's gonna be entertaining as well for as long as it lasts. Like, Lemieux has the puncher's chance, and we've seen David. I feel like he is highly skilled, but there's some flaws in there that I feel like he needs to work on. I think, like, he steps back a little too much with his head up. His hands are a little bit down. He's a little flat-footed, but it shouldn't be an issue. Like I said, for as long as that fight's gonna last, it should be pretty good. There's the Fulton and Daniel Roman.
First, quick second. Give me a second. Go ahead and keep going, though. And I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Take your time, man. Yeah. So, well, Julian takes a little break, whatever, but um, the Fulton and Roman fight that should be very entertaining. Um, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, again, Jamal Charlo and Selecki. That's a big downer there. And then another one, really, no one's really mentioning this one too much, is the Magsayo versus Vargas. Um, and like I mean, there was maybe some talks about it, but for like the Magsayo and Vargas, I think that was a fight everybody was mentioning immediately after the Russell fight, where they wanted to see um, where exactly Magsayo is against somebody like Vargas. Like Vargas is a little taller, a little more length, a little more length on him. And he's gonna have superior boxing. Like his boxing is gonna be really key in this fight. And I think when Magsayo and Russell fought, I think that was the kind of thing they wanted to see, where Magsayo was against a superior boxer like Russell. I was just saying right now, Julian, that I'm looking forward to the Magsayo and Vargas. It's really not being
No,
mentioned that much,
it's
but
not.
there's some guys that are talking about it, and I think they really wanted to see where Magsayo really is. I think a lot of people wanted to see how he would do against someone um, in a fight like with Russell, right? They wanted to see what
Hmm.
his kind of, because it was like a come forward fighter, and Russell being a superior boxer, and Vargas is actually a really good boxer, um, and he can punch. He can punch
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
heck yeah, you can. I mean, it's gonna be a good month, man. I mean, look at this whole lineup. I mean, from top to bottom, other than the Charlo Selecki fight, it's a pretty good lineup for Showtime. I mean, you have a lot of course, we had Colbert just lose from Showtime. I mean, it's a lot of twos. I mean, just coming out.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Showtime. I think they kind of go a little bit under the radar, right? Like it's really not being mentioned as much as like the zone and the ESPN. Like, but for us, like we feel like Showtime shows out, man. They actually their fights are very good, and I like seeing like the Showbox next generation. Where they have some of these young guys. Can't think of any names off the bat, but when I'm at work, I'm able to watch some of these fights, and I'm excited to see where some of these young talented fighters go from there.
Oh man, me
But
too, man.
before I move on, Julian, what do you give this here out of a 1 to 10 or an A to F? What is your overall score? What is your overall grade on the Showtime spring and summer card schedule?
I I can give it a B plus. Nothing. It's not an A quality yet, but I mean, like I said, I mean, until we get certain fights that we want done with names on this list, I mean, then Showtime could actually call themselves up, and just let's do it. I mean, but make these damn fights happen.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I agree with you. I think it's a good solid B. um, I would say like a B plus as well, maybe
Oh,
B.
no, what Kenny just said.
Oh, Kenny,
Yep.
A.
Thank you. You can and then I mean, then you have Andrade too coming up. He's gonna be the B side, bro, to Parker. Well, possibly his biggest payday to date. Because I mean, he's going to go fight in England.
Oh yeah, that's coming up in April, right?
Yeah, that's in
Yep.
April too. I believe end of April too.
Yeah. See, April, like you said, man, April's a good car. I mean, what are we? March 21st?
Yeah, we can't even forget to mention either. I mean, Burchout fights next weekend.
Oh man.
I mean, Burchout fights next week. He comes his first fight since the Oscar Valdez loss. Then I mean that not even done. Oscar Valdez fights the end of April against Shakur Stevenson, man. I mean
Hey,
we'll get into that too. I mean later on down the line. I mean we're definitely gonna have a couple
i-
people on the show for that
if
one.
exactly, if we don't get to the fight that's happening this weekend, the rematch between Kiko Martinez and Josh
Oh,
Warrington, that
that's
fight
that's
is also happening this weekend, and that
the
would be an
zone, the
absolute, yeah,
zone.
absolute, absolute amazing fight right there.
Yeah,
Um,
it
real
can. I
quick, I
mean,
guess Julian, I guess real quick, what do you think, man? How do you see that one playing out? Warrington and Kiko Martinez rematch.
I see Warrington winning.
Okay.
I see Warrington is winning. I mean, Kiko Martinez got. I mean, it looked good the last fight, but it wasn't it wasn't him. That wasn't the Kiko Martinez we're used to seeing.
Mm, mm,
But I mean, if he could change up a couple things, and if he could change up the game plan a little bit,
mhm.
I think he could possibly, he come out victorious. But until then, I have it at Warrington.
Hey, I'm gonna agree with you on this one too. But not by much. It's gonna be a really competitive fight. Like Kiko coming off one of his biggest wins. I mean, he was getting a little outworked.
Yeah,
The power came through. Warrington, I feel like he's looking like he's aged a little bit after the Lada wars. And Lada, man. Speaking of Lada, that dude's an assassin.
yeah. He
That
just
dude's
fight
an
last weekend
assassin.
too.
He fought on
Yeah, last weekend or 2 weeks ago.
was
We
it
got
two
yeah.
weekends ago. Yeah, it was on the Martinez
Mhm.
and Chocolattito undercard. Yeah, he's a straight up assassin. And like I said, I'm gonna slightly favor Warrington. I just feel like that fight is to be made. That third fight
Yeah, I
between
mean,
Lada
it's a
and
business.
Warrington.
It's business. Of course, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
does
made.
does know for you. But real quick, I'm gonna before we go on to the next topic, like this overall, again, B plus, solid shit, solid shit, man. But Julian, Mr. Shushu Carrington, also we want to send a shout out to our boy, you know, Mr. J. High Tucker. He was a little, I wouldn't say tested. It was a competitive fight. I
Yeah.
guess he was a little bit tested, but he was never really in no danger.
No,
He was,
not at all. I mean, he
mhm,
was in control the whole fight. Of course, the knockout heard around the world that day was Shoe Shoes. I mean, that one too was nasty.
yeah.
I mean,
Um,
what did you do that to him for?
real, real quick, if you want to speak on it a little bit, I'm gonna run and go take a piss real quick.
I don't. Yeah, I mean the undercard. I mean, everybody go back and watch this. In this past weekend, everyone check the knockout out. I mean, you have ESPN Ringside that also put this out. It was a fun little card, man. Jahai, he did. I mean, he did what he had to do. Of course, a little bit of showboating, a little bit, that we're not used to seeing from him. But hey, I mean, just enjoy yourself. I mean, you were in your home state. Um, Berlanga, it was a good night too. I mean, nothing too crazy on my end. Um, I'm not too crazy for him. Xander Zayas, I believe, stole the show. I think he really did steal the show. Just the young prospects this weekend are what we're looking at the future in boxing. This is what you want to see in boxing. These guys are the future. Jay High, we have Rushu Carrington. These dudes are just the future, man. Uh,
Hey, Keyshawn Davis. Hey, dude,
yeah,
look at
Keisha, that was ugly too.
man, top rank. I mean, I think hands down, like they, as far as like when these young guys come out, this young talent, like I feel like they have the very best young fighters when they're getting their career started, and then as
I
I guess the
agree.
career progresses, you see the controversy, you see it happen in the past, you see it happening now. But like as for right now, like as far as these young guys, like I feel like it's a good platform for these young guys, and you see it Shushu,
Future's
J
bright.
High, Keyshawn Davis,
You
Ricardo
can
Torres.
Ricardo Torres, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I
So
mean, then you have people like Xander Zayas. He was on the same card. I
speaking of
mean,
Xander,
yeah.
I mean, what can we say, man? Like,
That's
what did you think, man? This 19-year-old phenom,
it's beating the shit out of everybody.
bro.
Like he's this is the most seasoned freaking fighter, you know, that I've seen. I guess you could possibly say since like De La Hoya. De La Hoya was freaking smooth.
Might I
You know,
remind you, 19 years old, bro.
yeah,
19.
that's 1-9, everybody. Again, but this dude is like what he does. We met him here. His mom. We actually met him when he turned 19. We met
It's
him the day
true.
he
It was
turned
his
19.
birthday. Yeah, it was his
Yeah, it was his
birthday.
birthday that day, and I mean, good kid. I have pictures with him too. I should have even sent you this put on there. Cool dude. I mean, just he's a freaking he's just a class act kid. He's just a for the people. He loves his country too. I mean, everybody who doesn't represent their country. I mean, of course we're American, but of course we love the Mexican heritage.
Of course.
I mean, he's just full out Puerto Rico. He loves his people.
Absolutely.
And it's just this kid is. I can't wait to see what the belt that gets put around this kid. I give him about 2 more years. We'll probably see him in a title fight.
Ooh, I was thinking more like, are you counting this year as one and
Yeah,
then
well, I'm
two
counting
next
this
year?
year. Yeah, well, yeah, I'm
Okay.
counting this year. Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm thinking he's gonna possibly get a stronger, maybe a more competitive fight. next fight,
Mhm.
just to see exactly if he can, exceed the expectation. And then I think he's gonna get possibly a gatekeeper in his division, which a guy who's gone in there with. Well, we all know who the gatekeeper is in the middleweight division. Some of these guys, of course, like a Sulecki. Freaking, we have freaking, so all these guys. I mean, yeah, guys like this. I mean, that could actually get him into the name. That name platform in the middleweight division. 19 years old though.
Yeah, man. And I mean, you're absolutely right, Chicano. Like the kid, he really is. We met him, very respectful, really humble. You could tell he's been brought up with, I mean, with
Good.
great intentions from his
Hmm.
family. Family first kid, and I mean, come on, like this, like Julian just said, like since De La Hoya, like this could be, the Puerto Rican De La Hoya, right? Like he's a good looking kid,
Even a
great
Kodo,
smile, right?
Kodo too. I mean,
Good
these.
looking, good looking kid, good boxer, really smart, really respectful. A good backstory. He actually cut his hair,
Yeah, he did.
like
I
an
was gonna
honor
say
for a girl. Yeah,
that.
he cut his hair. I don't know the little girl's name, but she was, fighting cancer or kind of like going through chemo, so he decided to cut, the
The little dread that he had, little.
the two
Yeah.
braids he always puts on. I mean, man, to me, he's like 19 years old, bro. Like, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Um, I know a lot of people were saying this as well. Like, this should have been, like, this could have been a main event, but no disrespect to Edgar. I think he's just the way it was. Like, Edgar's a little bit further along in his career. But Xander Zayas, man, 19 years old. What's up, Chica? What's up, Nopal? What's up, my brother? Good
What's
evening.
up, brothers?
Shout out to Nopal, and of course my homie Chicano. Subscribe to Chicano Al Chile. Um, and of course my brother Kenny, man, like knocked out by Kenny. Don't forget to go and subscribe to Kenny. He's got a great show. Him and Maestro got a good thing going on,
You
like
got a damn good
chemistry,
show.
mano Mondays. So subscribe to these guys, man.
Gotta get in on that, you and me.
Hey, for sure. Hey, Chicano, anybody else in there knocked out Kenny, you're more than welcome to go ahead and put your link down in the comment section for some of the viewers today or in the later
In
on
the
that are
future,
watching the
yeah.
show. Yep. So
You
again, I
know,
mean,
Berlanga, bro. I mean,
z-
are we? I think he's the only person that I haven't seen improvement in the last three fights. Like, we see improvement from Xander Zayas. We saw improvement from Jahai, from, just different fighters, that are coming up. You want to improve every fight.
exactly.
I just feel that Berlanga is setting his own self up for failure. I mean, the kid has the tools, he has everything, going for him, but if you don't have head movement, if you're just a freaking walking target coming at somebody, I mean, a more fighter like Wood, I mean, a more seasoned fighter like Wood would beat the crap out of him. I mean, just take advantage of the holes that are in his game. I mean, the overhand right, the left hooks to the body, the left hook to the. I mean, he's just prone to the hook too. I mean, that's what I was really noticing a lot.
Yeah.
And he's very weak against the jab. He has no defense against the jab. Against well, I guess you could say a quicker jab fighter. I was always going to get through on him. I mean, Wood, being a veteran fighter, he should have kept to that game plan. I believe this fight actually really,
A rose.
yeah. I mean, this fight really should have really been a draw in my eyes.
Hmm.
Like that's just my eyes because just seeing what Berlanga's character was in the whole fight. I mean, I just feel that he's not in the game right now, like
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
he should be doing.
Yeah.
Like because we know what he can do.
I agree with you. I feel that thing that's for me. Like if I'm gonna pinpoint like some stuff, like I feel like first and foremost, like the head, like the mentality, he really wasn't there. Like it could have been the pressure of headlining the Madison Square Garden. He's
The injury,
reaching out to two trainers. So you got three voices inside the corner. Um, you said the injury. He got rocked his last fight. There's so many factors for me, but um, I think he just looked like he was thinking too much. And like Andre Ware said it best, like, when Bernard Hopkins fought Trinidad, Hopkins' corner was like, hey, just throw the jab. Like, don't worry about throwing it hard. Don't worry about throwing it slow. Just throw it out there. eventually the rest will come. And that's the way I felt when I was watching this. I'm watching Berlanga, like a lot of fundamental stuff that he was doing. He wasn't doing right. He followed roles around the ring. He didn't cut the ring off. He should have been stepping, outside, and jabbing more and jabbing to the top, to the, to the body, mixing up speeds. And one thing he does a lot, and he's predictable, is when
The
he's about
feint,
to load,
Yep.
when he's about to throw a punch, he goes high guard and
And
then
he
he throws
loads
a
up.
shot.
And he
Yeah, he
loads
loads a
up.
lot, man. He loads up a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't a very good showing. Um,
It's a W at the end of
it's
the
a W. And then, like, as far as like scoring, I agreed with you in the beginning. I watched it, but I could watch it on my iPhone Mini. Fucking iPhone Mini, can't really see that
day.
too good shit. So I ended up watching it yesterday at work, on the tablet. And it was a very close fight, but he did win. He did win a unanimous decision, but a very close fight. Um, I won't say I'll say this: he didn't come away winning newer fans, or winning, like, yeah. I guess I wouldn't say that winning the new fans or winning people over by his performance. It was pretty bland. There was a lot of
Yeah.
mistakes that he did in there that he could have done better. Now going forward, I'm hoping he sees the things that
Improvement.
he did wrong, and just he was thinking too much for me. That's all it was. Like, when I was watching him, like, he's thinking too much. Just like,
This
box
is too
smart.
much spotlight, I think, for him. I don't think he was ready for the like you just said. I don't think he was ready for this
Mhm.
kind of spotlight. One, I mean, yeah, it's cool. I mean, you're in your hometown. Do what you got to do. Like, do exactly what you got to do. But
No
I
problem.
mean, just, but he, I mean, but Berlanga, like I said, I mean, like I said, the last three fights, there's just been no improvement. It's been the same thing. I mean, he's been trying to go forward, trying to get at him. It's, I mean, I think he should either change trainers or, just for that being. I
Mhm.
mean, because or else we're about to see the gatekeeper in the future here.
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. I mean, he's pretty talented, right? And
Yeah, he's
and
he's very talented. He's
and then that
very.
was that was one of the things I saw. I think Timothy Bradley maybe even said it too. Is there's really no chemistry between him and Rozier. And Rozier is a pretty good trainer. There's
Yeah,
certain
thank
fighters
you.
that
No,
there's some
thank
fighters
you.
that Rozier can train.
That's funny that you brought that up. That's fucking funny that you brought that up, bro.
And
Because
this
I
is
remember
probably
that.
one, yeah, and this is probably one of
That's good.
those cases where a trainer and a fighter just don't mesh. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I mean, he's young enough in his career to move around a little bit. I would
Hmm.
say take at least like 4 or 5 months off, and,
I
and
want to
go and
see
meet
him with Virgil
trainers.
Hunter. I want to see him with Virgil Hunter. I
Okay.
really think his style with Virgil Hunter, or would I think it would really, I really think it would do something good for him. You know. But like I said, look at just exactly right there, building up high risk, high reward. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. I
Absolutely,
mean,
man.
but that's exactly what he is right now. Exactly what Berlanga is. The moment he loses, though, that's the moment.
Absolutely.
That's the moment his career starts going down.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
That's
So
sad to say. That's sad to say. Unless he makes the improvements that we want to see as critics, as as fighting fans, as like trainers, this and that. We want to see the improvements. I mean,
yeah.
like we said too, Sanders Zayas had those improvements.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And after watching these two guys perform, I mean, why wouldn't you put Zayas? And I'm not just trying to hype him up. Like,
Oh, he's
like me
that
and you
good.
always, yeah, me and you always talk about it, like, off air when we're conversating, when we're texting each other. Like, a fighter, first and foremost, has to pass an eye test, right? The eye test is beating the guy he's supposed to beat convincingly and showing the high skills that you have. And that's exactly what Zayas did. He showed off his skills. He showed off what he can do.
Did you see his
Um,
punch output?
bro, he was doing everything
That was
right.
crazy. Like I was like, dude, this is only like what 8 rounds, and you're freaking putting out freaking. God dang! Like
Hey, he's
imagine what he
getting
could do.
started too.
Yeah,
Just getting started, man.
I mean, imagine what this dude's gonna do like in 2 more years. I'll be scared. I mean, if I were anybody in this division, I'd be scared as shit of him. Because I mean, I don't think this kid's gonna slow down.
No,
I
he's
really
not,
don't.
man.
I
Yeah,
really
and
do
I
not.
agree with you too. I would say by the middle of next year, late summer next year, we'll see
We'll see him
maybe a
at his
belt.
peak.
We'll see a belt around his waist or around his shoulder, whoever is holding the belt at that time. And this division is getting hot, man. So again,
Hmm.
for me, I mean, the guy that stole the night, of course, Xander out of the ESPN card. Shushu had an amazing knockout. Berlanga. Ah man,
Upsetting
nothing more I could say.
performance.
Yeah, nothing more I can say. You just go to Twitter and it's flooded with comments and remarks that this was not a great performance.
But to say that Woods fought scared that fight, I mean,
It's,
at the end of the day, I really think he was the one that fought scared.
Julian
Because
is
yeah,
rolls.
Rolls. I'm sorry, my bad. Oops.
Whoops. Whoops. I'm kidding.
No,
No,
but
you're right. You're right.
yeah, but I mean, I think he fought scared. I mean, it just wasn't. Like I said, we didn't see the Berlanga that we saw maybe 3 fights ago.
Mhm.
He does. I don't think he has it. I think now that the spotlight's starting to hit him more, I just think it's becoming more a distraction.
Yeah. And it was crazy as the fight is happening. You can hear like Andre Ward kind of predicting what Rose's moves were going to be, what he was going to do next.
Hmm.
And he said he said, look, he's going to take the first 4 rounds off and then he's going to step it up. And that's exactly what he did. He stepped it up from like 4.5 all the way to the end. But there was moments where he stole the round. There was a couple rounds that were close. I think for me, like I actually wrote it down on a piece of paper. There was 5 and 9 were like the close rounds, which I gave 1 round to Rose, 1 round to Berlanga. But Rose,
Five was
37 years
hard.
old.
Five was
Yeah,
hard to freaking.
score. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It was, man. It was really hard. But let's see. There's so much brightness for Xander Zayas, man. Everybody's riding high on him, and
Every
it's
single one of these
amazing.
prospects. The sky's the limit for either one of them. I mean, like I said too. I mean, Berlanga, all he needs to do is make those improvements.
Mhm.
And I mean, he could be the next great thing. I mean, he's called the chosen. They call him the chosen one for a reason.
Yeah, and he is a walking highlight. He can knock people out, but once you fight somebody that could box back and take your shot and expose you, like
Different.
it goes. You easily get forgotten really quick.
Yeah, but a lot of people know that. I mean,
Speaking,
we
yeah,
know.
yeah. Speaking of running their mouth or being a hype,
Oh my God. Alexis
Blair,
Roca. I can tell you this: Alexis Roca did what the hell he had to do, bro. I
yeah,
mean, if we if we say that this dude's I mean, if everybody says that Roca's like a C-level flat a fighter, B-level fighter. Blair Cobbs, of course, is. I mean, this guy talks more than he should, and I'm pretty sure the Saturday showed that. I mean,
yeah,
we saw. I mean, yeah, he could. I mean, give it to Blair Cobb. Dude could throw some punches, man. But Alexis Roca tore his dude apart, bro.
yeah,
Like, Blair Cobbs just needs to keep everybody out of his mouth right now. He needs to go back to the drawing board. Uh, Freddie Roach used to work with him on another, changing something up there because I mean he's
yeah,
just way too open.
yeah. Way
Like for
too
me,
open.
way too open. Like he's just too flat too. I think. I mean, yeah, he moves a lot, but he's just flat
Hmm.
as he's moving everywhere. But like I said, Roca did what he had to do. He has power, man. Like dang, like he
Yeah.
actually has power. I mean, that freaking shot that he took in what the 10th round, the 11th round that Blair took, that one that put him down the first time, that was
Oh yeah.
crazy, man. And I just, man, that's all out to Alexis Roca. I mean, I think he should get a shot. He can get a shot. I mean, or at least get a title eliminator shot. I think
Yeah.
actually no, this was a title eliminator shot. I believe, wasn't it?
I'm not too sure. It might. Let me
I
see.
I think it was. If I'm not
Mm,
mistaken, I really think I heard it was a title elimination fight, and which
Not. I don't see it. I'm looking right now. I don't see anything really. I know it was a 10. It was a 10 round
yeah,
fight.
10 rounder.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But like I said, I mean, Roca, just like Bear Cobb, man, just full all hype, man. For me right now, I mean, just all the talk, just all hype for me right
yeah.
now.
And and I could get what I guess I kind of see what Cobb was trying to do. Of course, running his mouth, trying to be entertaining, trying to be funny, calling out fighters. Earl
Dressing like
Spence called him like a
dressing like
30.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, Earl Spence called him a 33-year-old prospect. So, and once he lost, man, it was
Yeah,
it was terrible, man.
oh,
It was sad to see. And it
uh,
wasn't like Cobb was extremely terrible, and it just was.
the
There was just
style.
things he could have done better. There's things he could have done better, like Rocha. it was just the perfect style for him. Roach is like a really not a basic, but he's like a really good
He can really
fundamental
pick a
fighter.
shot. He
Yeah,
really picks his shots.
and Cobb was predictable with a lot of stuff he was doing, and he
Exactly.
was
Being open didn't help.
yeah, man. And for me, um, you know, back to the drawing board for Cobb, and hopefully he learns his lesson. If not, hey, if that's his character where he likes to run his mouth and talk shit, then that's just gonna be who he is. And every time that happens, he doesn't do any improvements. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a short career, man.
Like
Short
like
career
I
for the
said,
guy.
we understand that Adrian Broner does this thing, did this thing to make money, man. But he was a different fighter. Sorry, that's not gonna work for you.
Yeah,
So
it
back to the
won't.
drawing board. Alexis Roca. I mean, next one on for you, brother. I mean, let's see what you can do. See if let's see you could if you can just follow up this performance.
Yeah, I mean, before this fight was made, like before this fight happened on Saturday,
It's supposed to be
where
Virgil.
yeah, it was supposed to be Virgil.
Poor guy.
That poor
Prayers
guy,
out to
man.
him, man. Prayers out to him.
Yeah, for sure. Who were you picking to win in this fight, or you just were like, I don't know, like I'm gonna
And this
let's see
fight
what
right
happens.
here,
Yeah,
personally, well, I don't like Blair Cobb really, and I've only seen one fight of his, and he's not really an entertaining fighter to me,
yeah,
personally. But I had Roca just because just all the hype for that Cobb had, and I just felt that Roca was just. Well, I didn't know he was gonna do that, but I knew, but I knew Roca would come out either slightly, or or even like I said, I didn't see that knockout happening.
yeah. I mean, for me, I think I've seen Blair fight once last year on the zone, and of course, it was against somebody he should have beaten or he did beat. It was just lined up perfectly. Rocha, he fought too, I think, last year, and I was pretty impressed. And he was in a tough fight. I just can't think of the name offhand. Like I'm drawing a blank, but for me, it was just like the clash of styles. It was like the clash of styles for these two guys, and to see what was going to happen. And Rocha came out victorious. Um, so again, let's see what happens with Rocha. Blair Cobb back to the drawing board. So much more for this guy to
Yeah,
improve. I mean, he's got Freddie
yeah.
Roach in his corner, and it's not like Freddie Roach has a terrible camp or a terrible team there that
You
can help
don't.
him improve. Maybe again, it's just maybe the fighter and trainer just don't mesh for some reason. But overall, Julian, I mean, for me, I guess Zayas, Rocha, pretty much. Oh, and we can't forget Regis Prograde too.
Yeah,
Regis
Rich
Prograde
Prograde.
fought early on in the day.
And Jose Cepeda, by the
Cepeda,
way.
exactly. Chon.
Yep, El Chon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was good fights, man. Overall, like those were those fights that stood out to me. Disappointing for Berlanga. Same thing with Cobb. You know, sucks.
Disappointing news of Charlo. It's just things like that going on. But like I said, hopefully we're saved by all the
Kenny.
by the yeah, hopefully
Hey, you're right.
hopefully
I
we're
saw
saved.
that shit.
Yeah.
I saw that shit. Yeah, I did see Spence going in on him. So was TC.
Yeah, I mean those dudes hate that dude, but I guess we could see why, but man, it's gonna be a fun month, man, of boxing coming up here, people. We're coming out with some more shows. Like I said, we're gonna get you guys with some news about the program, about the foundation too, coming up here. So everything's rolling now, man, and boxing is now. I think now boxing, this is where it starts now, baby. I mean,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
this is where the fun starts.
And what I'm seeing, and then for me, I see a lot of this phrase going around, and I absolutely love it. And this is going to be something all of us are going to be taking in. It's keep it boxing, right? Keep it boxing, and that's all we're going to do here is keep it boxing.
Keep it boxing.
We're
That's
going to
true.
give, you know, facts as always, because facts reigns king. But hey, man, I'm excited to see where, like I said, the foundation, back to the foundation, back to Combat for Hope, man. And, we got some things lined up. We're even possibly looking at, having our own podcast studio. So it might be a different scene, a different setup. We're gonna have more guests. Um, and it's something we're building, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Combat for Hope. And you guys out there too, man. Like Kenny out in New York, Maestro, Chicano, Nopal. I mean, boxing out there is worldwide, man. And like the people we know, we would love to connect with you guys, and maybe we can,
Expand this program as
yeah,
it goes
create
out.
something big, man. Create something big with this Combat for Hope. But first things first, we're getting our paperwork done, and it's set in stone, man. It's almost time. It's almost time to do this.
I'm just gonna
Um,
tell everybody this right now. Make your choice.
Absolutely, man. That's
Make your choice. That's our slogan. Just letting
absolutely,
everybody know.
absolutely, Julian. Julian, look, it was a little while. It took us about a week and a half to get on, but here we are, guys. We got the show going. Um, we might get you guys another show maybe by the end of the week, or even like a Sunday recap of what happened on the fights on Saturday, or until late breaking news happens. Until then, it was amazing having fun with everybody
Yeah.
with this shit. I love what I love doing this, speaking
Yeah.
boxing, combat stuff.
Everybody that comments, man, from Kenny to Chicano Prophet
Nopal,
and
everybody.
Nopal, everybody, man. I mean, we just appreciate the love coming out. All the love that I actually got this past weekend, from the people we mingle with, here in town, just from the Brawler crew, Brawler 101 crew, Brawler Fest this weekend, by the way, everybody.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
Brawler Fest this weekend. They're actually going to a new location too.
shout
So I
out to
mean,
Paul.
yeah, shout out to Paul. I mean, did a great job this week with your fighters. Hector Reyes, man, just keep doing your thing, man. Your boys, I mean, your fight club's amazing too, man. Just keep doing what you guys are doing. Pete Casada at Southwest, man, just knowing you for a long time, man. Yeah, like I said, just your big motivation, to the boxing community here in Tucson, and like I said, just keep doing what you're doing there, man. Just doing great. Southwest Boxing Gym as well, and
Yep.
also to Boxing Fit, who actually put on the event this past weekend too. Just great time, and one more. Like I said, to Reach for It again, the Reach for It Foundation too, man. That's a hell of an event you guys put on this weekend. Really
Yeah,
appreciate you guys.
absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to hoping maybe making it to this Saturday if this little baby don't come. This
Yeah,
baby don't
sugar.
come. I mean, who knows? I might be out there to go show my support to the guys there at Brawler 101. Julian, hey, thanks for being out there, putting out, being the eyes and ears out there, and the mouthpiece for Off the Ropes and Combat for Hope. Guys, this is George. I'm signing off with Off the Ropes.
This is Julian, man. We're off the ropes, man. Soon to be Combat for Hope.
Have a good
Catch you
week, a
guys.
good evening.